of God Crafts channel. This is Mr. Shannon talking. Um, I had a contest right before the spring break for my students, and I said the student that had the most points in the game for the entire day wins a prize, and that prize will be something that I make on the channel for them. Now, because they're underage, I'm not going to give you their name or who they are or anything like that, but you can watch the process and check it out. I will be presenting this to the student when I return to the school. So let's uh, let's get this camera focused in and watch this thing work, huh? Now we take it to the sander. we're going to need a different sander. So we're going to need this narrow sander to get into some of the smaller parts of the profile of this new plaque. There we have it. The edges are all nice and smooth. Beautiful. I just now have to clean out the grooves in the middle part and take it to staining. Alright, so because this piece is so small, I'm going to use the rub-on method for the stain, which means I'm not going to use a paintbrush. I'm just going to apply it directly with the cloth. We are using the Minwax Gunstock color, which is a reddish brown. Is that not beautiful and classy? Now we're going to let that dry. And once that is dry, we're going to put some clear coats on it. Then it goes to epoxy. Excellent. Okay guys, so now we're going to put my mark on the back of it. I have this branding iron. Let's see if we can't get a good look at it. I'm going to get it good and hot. And I'm going to put my mark right on here. Maybe that might be hot enough. Let's try it out. Oh yeah, I can see some of the smoke coming up. Okay, got my mark on it. Let's see if we can't get a good close-up of it. There it is, the Good Enough Guy Crafts, making stuff good enough. That's the mark. Next, we seal coat the back. Okay, we're going to use some simple Danish oil on the back side just to protect it. So I'll just pour a little bit on there. Look at that. And rub it in. Give the white wood a nice protective coating. Rub that in. There we go. We're going to leave that for the day. And then later on, we're going to take it to epoxy. Ready? You sure? Hey guys, we got my trusty sidekick,
Geek Goddess.
the Geek Goddess Creations lady. She's going to do our epoxy for the first time on camera for us for this plaque I'm making one of my students. So without further ado, here you go.
Alright, so first we have to make sure that it's level. Mostly. It's good enough. Then we're going to mix equal parts of our epoxy. This is a 2-part epoxy that is measured in equal parts. Some are measured by weight, but not this brand. Alright, once we have equal parts of A and B, we're going to mix them together. So I always put the thinner one first and then the thicker one to ensure that they're going to mix properly. Oh, the internet's going to have a cow because I don't have PPE on. I used to mix them by hand for 4 minutes like a muggle, but the good enough guy was nice enough to get me this nice handy mixer. Now we mix for 4 minutes. Hey Google, set timer for 4 minutes. Super important to make sure your epoxy is well mixed or it won't cure and it will stay sticky forever. That's why we mix it for 4 minutes. And I can put the mixer right down on this because it's silicone and when the epoxy cures it won't stick to it. Alright, so first we're going to prep the epoxy for the outside area that we are doing in this beautiful holographic silver. Now the epoxy is actually going to be clear, but when we mixed it we incorporated a lot of air. So it currently looks a little white, but as we work with it, that air will come out. It's a little too much in there. I'm going to use this little torch to get some of the air bubbles out and help the epoxy warm up and even out a little bit. I'll give it a little bit of a helping hand here. So we're just going to let that level out while we work on the middle part. Middle part, I have this gorgeous custom pink mix with little stars in it. And we're also going to add a few drops of pink alcohol ink to fill up any of the spaces in between the glitter. Give it all a good mix. This one currently looks a little bit like a paste, but as it settles into our plaque, it will all self-level. Where it needs to be. I do see some spots of the silver that we need to touch up.
So how do you feel about it?
I think it looks beautiful. We're going to let it sit here for just a minute, and I'll torch it one more time for any air bubbles that come to the surface, and then we just let it sit for 24 hours and cure. And then we can attach the hardware on the back and it's all set. Very, very sparkly.
If you like this and other random oddities we can make out of wood and epoxy, go ahead and give us a shout out or request. Contact us on all of the major socials. We're on the Good Enough Guy Crafts on YouTube, on the TikTok. We're on the Facebook and the Instagram. You can check out some of our many projects. Give us a request for something if you want to see something made. Like, share, subscribe. And by all means, help us feed that algorithm. Thank you guys. Be well.